The man, out of kindness, once gave a boy $50. Unexpectedly, that small act of kindness would save him 20 years later when he himself fell into trouble. That day, he went to the hospital to pay for his wife's medical expenses. However, the clerk informed him that his card balance was insufficient. Hearing this, he was stunned. He had just ordered his adopted son to sell the house yesterday. While he was still confused, his two adopted sons approached him. He thought they were coming to help. However, the adopted daughter arrogantly said that she had the money and would not spend it on someone who would soon die. The adopted son even coldly said, he will use all the money just for himself to have fun. The man heard this and was furious, reprimanding them that without him adopting them, they might have starved to death in the orphanage. However, the two of them did not feel guilty. Instead they said, if they had not been adopted, they might have already entered a rich family and lived comfortably. At that moment, his wife heard the argument and, upon learning the truth, was immediately angry and her illness relapsed. The man regretted ever adopting them. Seeing his wife's condition worsen, he could only seek out the people he had helped in the past, begging them to return the money. But no one would acknowledge him. Some even forced him to kneel and worship. Only if he was in a good mood would he return the money. For his dying wife, he endured the shame and knelt, but the only response was scornful laughter and beatings. Finally, he was thrown out. A kind villager whispered that his friend was now very successful. Perhaps he could ask for help, but he knew all too well. 20 years ago, he had desperately helped his friend get out of prison, but instead of being grateful, his friend felt that he had lost his job because of him. Their relationship had been ruined ever since. Just when he was at his wits' end, another call came from the hospital, informing him that his wife was in critical condition. Surgery had to be performed within 24 hours. He felt all hope was dashed, but suddenly, he saw the news. Tomorrow a president would be holding a special charity event to help those in need. Hearing this, his heart was filled with hope. He decided to come and try his luck without realizing it. The president turned out to be the boy he had given $50 to 20 years ago. Meanwhile, his friend, who once held a grudge, secretly bribed his two adopted children, telling them to join in insulting their adoptive father. Seeing that his friend was now rich, they immediately agreed. They came together to look for the president-director to collaborate. At the same time, the man also arrived in front of the president-director's office. However, because he didn't make an appointment, he was blocked by the security guard. When he didn't know what to do, suddenly his friend appeared. He hurriedly explained the past misunderstanding. However, it turned out that his friend didn't care. Instead, hearing that he was in need of money, he generously gave him some money. But as he was about to take it, his friend suddenly changed his attitude, threw the money to the ground, pushed him until he fell, and then humiliated him in front of everyone. He didn't know that for that action he would suffer very severe consequences, because at the same time, the president-director already knew that the person who had helped him was now downstairs waiting for him. Without delay, he rushed down. Just as several people were about to beat the man, the president-director finally appeared in front of everyone. Yeah,